What's up, everybody? Let's party. Today is Friday, August 1st, 2024. This is episode 678 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief podcast. I am your host, Dr. Gerald Auger, and over the next hour or so, me, you, Jesse Johnson getting up in the dark, DJ B-Sec emerging from the darkness, Jenny Housley, Kimberly Can Fix It, Casually Joseph, Marcus, Kyler of the Yeet Crew, Daniel Hopper, Triple D, Oscar Navas, Nail Girl, Jeremy Williams from the Boo Boo Bus. So many wonderful people here. Senvalis, Phil Stafford. Oh my God, Brent B, let's go. We are all going to be shredding the top cybersecurity news stories of the day, and I'll be giving my expert opinion and analysis on each of those stories, on what it means to you as a practitioner. So how can you use this information to drive cyber risk reduction for your business stakeholders? And if you're looking to break into the industry, believe me, you're going to get value here, because every single job interview, and we'll confirm this with DJ B-Sec momentarily, you're going to be asked, how do you stay current in the industry? This right here, 2 thumbs, all smiles. That is the answer that's going to absolutely win hearts and minds. Top of that, you're going to get exposed to all sorts of concepts. And long-timers, first-timers, 20 years in the industry, just figuring out how to get in the industry, the networking is going to prove valuable. And the Simply Cyber community, hashtag Team SC, is all about networking and good times. Get your Oprah chats here. Guys, absolutely love it. We got a great show for you. Remember, today is the first Friday. If you are, whoa, Tyler Ramsby's here. Good morning, Tyler. Hey, listen, if you're one of the new folks here, maybe Nail Girl, I don't know if you were here last month. I know Sarah, Mara Levy, a whole bunch of you may not know this, but first Friday of every month, we do a little bit of extra fun stuff, including bingo. So we're actually going to be playing an active bingo game during the live stream this morning. There's a pin chat right there. So go ahead, get your bingo card. This is mine. It's all relative to the team. I see LEL, Roswell, UK. Roswell, UK, you've got 2 bingo cards, sir. All right, Haircut Fish, get your bingo card. If you got any questions, ask in chat how to get it. It's going to be totally worth it. It's all about good times and good fun. Of course, it is Friday, so James McQuiggan will be dropping Grayson's Joke of the Weeks, presented by James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Dad jokes galore. I want you all to know I do not prep or research for any of these stories coming up. Ain't nobody got time for that. And it makes it more authentic, more genuine. I can't wait. It's going to be wicked great. Believe that. Now, before I get into it, let me holler at the stream sponsors. What's up, Barricade Cyber Solutions? How you do? Listen, Barricade Cyber Solutions is dedicated to helping businesses from cyber attacks and recover from the damage done. You picking up what I'm putting down? Cyber attacks can cause massive issues for businesses and send dedicated, hardworking business owners into turmoil. But do you know what? Barricade Cyber Solutions knows how to mitigate the damage done by cyber incidents. They know how to eat threat actors out the environment. Check them out at barricadecyber.com. Links in the description below. You smell what I'm stepping in? Let's go. All right. Also want to say shout out and love to Delete Me long time sponsor. Love those guys. Love what they do for me. I appreciate that. Part of the sponsorship is I get a membership, and I really enjoy it. So listen, as a person that exists publicly, this guy, 2 thumbs, I got hot takes galore. Where's my hot take button? I'm hyper aware of my safety and security. Just because I'm a loudmouth on the internet doesn't mean that my kids and wife get to choose that lifestyle, but we live at the same address. So it's easy to find personal information online. All the data is just hanging out there. It can have real world consequences. I recently found a solution. The service is called Delete Me. Delete Me is a subscription service that removes your personal info from the largest people search databases on the web, and in the process can prevent ID theft, doxing, people showing up at your house. So when you sign up, you tell Delete Me what you want deleted, and they go off and do it. I said, I dare you. I challenge you to erase me from the internet. So I told them, go ham on it. You get a personalized privacy report every single month telling you what they did, what they deleted. It's epic. And the cool thing is, it's basically outsourcing your online privacy. I love it. Take control of your data. Keep your private life private by signing up for Delete Me. Now at a special discount for all y'all Simply Cyber listeners. Today, get 20% off your Delete Me plan when you go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Use promo code simplycyber at checkout. The only way to get, 20% is to go to joindeleteme.com/simplycyber and enter code simplycyber at checkout. Say it with me. joindeleteme.com/simplycyber. Thank you, Delete Me. As always, we got Antisyphon, but we'll talk about those beautiful babies at the mid-roll. Quick shout out, James McQuiggan with a super chat. Thanks, James McQuiggan.
We just become best friends. Yep.
It's Friday. Who's ready for Black Hat B-Sides at Las Vegas DEF CON, a.k.a. Hacker Summer Camp? I also heard Diana Initiative's kind of blowing up. A lot of people going to that. Catch me around the floor of the events next week. Hashtag Team SC, hashtag Coffee Cup Cheers. Yep. I can't wait to see you, James McQuiggan. You will be getting a stout hug from me. Also, Larry Shervington with the gifted subs. Thanks, Larry. Genuinely appreciate that. 5 new members to the squad. So you new members who just got minted, don't be shy. Get into the emote tray and spam, spam, spam. All right, guys. Hey, listen. The Simply Cyber Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Not only is it all about good times and wicked fun up in here, but did you know it's also worth 5 CPEs or half a CPE, 0.5. It's so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
Half a CPE. So what do? Just say what's up in chat. Like Triple D, James McQuiggan, Chris Young, Laura Flores, Kimberly Can Fix It, The Pain, hashtag Team SC, right? M Smith IO. Just say what's up. Grab a screenshot. Once a year, count the number of screenshots, divide by 2. That's how many CPEs you have. It's very straightforward. It's super easy. And believe me, when it comes time for CPEs, you'll be happy that you did this. Also, before we get into the show, if today is your first episode, first of all, welcome to the party, pal. You picked a banger of a day to show up for the first time. Drop a hashtag first timer in chat. Hey, Professor Black Ops, good to see you. Drop a hashtag first timer in chat. We have a special sound effect for you. We have a special emote for you. And we would love to welcome you with open arms. John Hoyt's in chat. Good morning, John Hoyt. Good to see you. I hope everything's well. Hope the travel was excellent. Can't wait to hear about that. All right, guys. My throat's a little, I will tell you, I prepped by having a water bottle present so I don't have those excuses anymore. Again, get your bingo card. Looks like we've got 27 players right now on the bingo card, so don't be shy. If you can play bingo, we'd love to have you. It's all about good times. All right, guys, do me a favor. Sit back, relax, and let's let the cool sound of the hot news wash over us in an awesome wave. See you at the mid-roll.
From the CISO series, it's Cybersecurity Headlines.
These are the cybersecurity headlines for Friday, August the 2nd, 2024. I'm Steve Prentice. Cencora confirms patient data stolen in February cyber attack. Following up on the cyber attack on pharmaceutical supplier Cencora in February, the company has now confirmed in an updated filing to the Securities and Exchange Commission submitted on Wednesday, July 31st, that sensitive personal and health data was exfiltrated in the February breach. Most of this data was maintained by a subsidiary company of Cencora that provides patient support services. The filing did not mention the number of people impacted, nor did it name the subsidiary firm. According to InfoSecurity magazine, there is currently no evidence that the data has been published or misused by the attackers.
Yeah, dude, what? It always cracks me up. Okay, data breaches are data breaches. Like, let's be real. February cyber attack, that was 6 months ago, so it's not ridiculous, but it's always funny when they say, like, reports, they're reporting that the data hasn't been abused yet. Like, like someone stole your horse. It's been reported the horse hasn't been ridden yet. Like, okay, they still have my horse. Like, what are we doing here? And beyond, like, and what, like, where are you making this prediction from? Like, are you looking out your front door at the internet and you're like, just from what you can see from your perspective, the data hasn't been used yet? Like, come on. Plus, what kind of confidence do you have? My data, like, let's just say my data was involved in this data breach. My data has been breached so many times that, you know what I mean? Like, I'm walking bow-legged here. So, like, how like, you can easily make an argument that, like, even if my data was used in a way that's not okay, that came from this data breach, this company, I'm not saying they did it, I'm just saying this company could be like, yeah, that's definitely from a different data breach, not our data breach. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't know, dude. I feel like the PR game and the spin game is always like very easy. Like the more data breaches there are, the easier it is to like hide in the noise. So they did have to file with the SEC. I will say personally, so this is a great example of like personally, I have a good friend who leads the information security at a pharmaceutical company, right? Like as soon as we get off the horn here, or maybe during the mid-roll, I'm going to copy and paste this story and send it to him and say, dude, here, ammunition, let's go. All right. You gotta, dude, whenever you're trying to make compelling arguments to the executives, especially, you need to make it as personal and as, applicable as possible. Is there that and money? Is there a dollar symbol? Unfortunately, this data breach story doesn't have a dollar symbol associated with it. That's too bad. Because basically the TLDR, the more you know, and I know many of you already know this lesson, but for those who don't, let's bring them into the fold. The more you know, the business, they want to know two things. Okay. This is straight up. Like I'm boiling dealing with the business down into two statements right now. This is based on like 20 years of life. One, they want to know what their peers are doing, not what is best practice, not like what is good for us. What are our peers doing? Let's stack up against our peers because that's what matters. Two, they want it like they only speak in money. Okay. Straight cash, homie. The business, 0 days, data breach, no, like $30 million data breach. Okay, you have my attention. Our insurance policy went up 4x because we don't have multi-factor. Oh, that's not good. Like, speak in numbers and be succinct. Thank you for coming to my thanks for coming to my seminar on how to talk to the business.
Learn to hack computer chips with lasers and a $500 open source tool. At next week's Black Hat Conference, one of the most intriguing presentations might be from Sam Beaumont and Larry Patch Trowell, both of whom work at security firm NetSpy, and who plan to present a new laser hacking device they're calling the Ray V Lite. RAYVLITE. In short, this tool, which they intend to release as open source, quote, aims to let anyone achieve arcane laser-based tricks to reverse engineer chips, trigger their vulnerabilities, and expose their secrets. Methods that have historically only been available to researchers inside of well-funded companies, academic labs, or government agencies, end quote. The goal of the researchers is to let people know, especially those who believe chip hacking to be out of reach of most hackers due to its cost and sophistication, that it is not, and that greater security must be built into the design of physical chips.
All right, here we go. Sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their heads. Microchip processors with freaking laser beams pointed at their zeros and ones. All right, hey, this is cool. I'm not going to discount this. I mean, there's this is so in cybersecurity, okay, or information security if you're old enough. There's always like really splashy, really sexy black hat talks, like jackpotting an ATM machine. So you just do whatever and it like shoots out a bunch of money, right? What's his name? I can't remember his name right now, but the guy who hacked the Jeep Cherokee, like being able to make it drive off the road. Like when you have these like very visceral impact of a cyber attack, it always plays very well. Right. So this one is pretty cool, right? They have a laser beam and they're able to modify zeros and ones on the chip. So this is like hardware hacking. Now, having said that, this will be an interesting talk, but at the same time, computers are they're like high performing machines. There's, like depending on the processor speed, even at like a slow processor, right? Bust out my 486 SX 25 megahertz. Yes, you youngs. I'm talking about Google a computer museum or something, and you'll see this like beige gray Hewlett Packard 486 SX 25 with the turbo button to bring you up to 33 megahertz. Even that, it's the processor's running pretty quickly, right? So like to be able to pinpoint and hit a single bit and flip it from a 0 to 1, if that's what is actually happening here, that's cool. But I honestly feel like I'd be curious to see this talk only because modifying bits and stuff usually can cause a seg fault or a blue screen of death, and that's fine from like a availability perspective and stuff. But like modifying bits and bytes to control flow of like the instruction pointer, or stealing data, or like causing it to like open a network connection, that would be like high precision of zeros and ones. So I just don't know. I guess that's why you go to the talk, right? And maybe I missed part of this because I was looking at Mod Chat about something I said earlier to get some thoughts on it. But yeah, ooh, this looks good. Like, unfortunately, Wired Magazine puts this. It says this is a free article, but they put like half the page has a banner on it, so I can't really see. So, anyways, the other thing is worth noting is that usually in these lab situations, it doesn't say it in the title, right? $500 open source tool will let you hack any computer chip. In reality, guys, I don't know if you've noticed last time, but like, just as an example, here's my laptop, right? Let's look at the sticker kit on it. We got nice little laptop, right? Got Whitney Champion, Black Hills, Simply CyberCon, right? Do you see an exposed microchip? No. You're never going to have an exposed microchip. So like, not only do you have to get the freaking laser, but like you would have to like crack open the case to be able to see the chip itself. So like at that point you have physical possession of it. So what are you doing? Like, you're not doing espionage and stuff. I don't know. Again, like, I hate to be such a I don't know. I feel like I sound like a grumpy old man, but like, this is cool in the headline and like, oh, did you hear there's a laser hacking thing? But like, if you look at the actual practice of this being, like, let's just give this laser beam to a nation state threat actor, a top tier cyber criminal. Like, how are they weaponizing it? I just don't see it that way. You know what I mean? So, all right. Remember, we've got bingo going on. I'm just going to do a quick check-in on bingo. Oh, yeah. Look at this. The bingo's looking good. 41 cards. Hopefully everybody's doing good. If you had a Ric Flair woo on your bingo card, congratulations, you got it.
Android spyware Mandrake returns with new skills. An updated version of a malware that has been around since 2016 has been seen on 5 applications that together have seen 32,000 downloads from the Google Play App Store. The new Mandrake performs a number of malicious activities, including data collection, screen recording and monitoring, command execution, simulation of user swipes and taps, file management, and app installation. It can also prompt users to install further malicious apps by displaying notifications that mimic Google Play.
Dude, I feel like this story, like I'm just saying, if it's like a slow news week, or you went to a DEF CON party last night and you're all kind of like foggy brained because you went to bed at 2:30 in the morning, like, I feel like you can run this story and just put in like a variable right here, Android spyware, in brackets, insert variable, hidden in apps in Google Play Store since insert bracket year. Dude, it's like a different story every day. Yes, there's malware in Android. There's Android malware. The fact that it's in the Google Play Store really sucks, man, because Google doesn't make any declarations or warranties that the code or the apps in the Google Play Store are secure. But many people think, oh, because it's in the Google Play Store, it must be okay. Like, there's no way that, like, if you went to like a grocery store and you bought a ham sandwich from the deli, you assume that the ham isn't covered in salmonella or is like dosed with like psilocybin or something like that, right? Like, you are straight up expecting, because this is now, if you went into a dark alley and someone's selling like black market ham sandwiches, well, then who knows? Like, you're taking your chances. So if I go into the Google Play Store, I'm expecting digital ham sandwiches, right? But Google doesn't warrant that because it's a developer ecosystem. It's all about free love. And, like, this is more of a platform for people to do things. So they do try to keep malware out of there, but threat actors are going to threat act, and they get into the Play Store, and then my Aunt Dorothea downloads malware. Usually, I didn't listen to what this particular one is. In my experience, Android malware typically falls into two flavors. It falls into Boar's Head Outbreak. Typically falls into two flavors: info stealer or banking, like Trojan. Or sometimes you get the double package, right? Crack that baby open, and you get the info stealer and banking Trojan. Of course, token Android logo guy being made to look evil. There might be an infographic here. Dude, here's my thing. Like, I don't know. Here's another, like, I'd love this for chat to talk about for a second. Yeah, go to simplycyber.io/merch to get your digital ham sandwich. Listen, here's my thing. Like, again, I might be old. I might be uncool. I might be. Like, when I go to the store or the app store on my phone or something to download, I don't know, like some type of like NetStumbler Kismet type tool, or I'm downloading an app, like I'm not going, like for this one, file sharing via Wi-Fi. I don't know, dude. I'm going with like the more reputable, recognizable ones. I'm not shopping around for different ones, right? Now, I do want to point out that this one that they show right here, it does have 2.9 stars out of 5, which is a terrible review. I don't know about you, but I automatically just click on 4 stars and higher, like minimum filter. Number of downloads. Threat actors can fake the number of downloads. Like basically they can have a farm, just download the app. So looking at number of downloads isn't necessarily an indicator of quality. But you got to be careful, guys. You got to be careful. And Kennedy, the sucky thing is, typically it's not like, you're going to be downloading it from the Google Play Store and installing it. Oh my God. Might be old.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Oh, that sound effect has particular, stings a little bit extra today, as Rex qualifies that I am in fact old. There is no might about it. The thing is, typically with malware on Android that you like sideload or get installed, it's like trying to trick you. When it comes to the Google Play Store, you load it right up, right? It does say that most downloads came from Canada, Germany, Italy, Mexico, Spain, Peru, and the UK. So United States, we're good. We're like the women's Olympic gymnastics teams. We're golden. But you could see here, it doesn't matter if it's English-speaking countries only or not. We got the boot. We got Spanish-speaking countries, Italian countries. Germany's up in there. I'm actually quite surprised that the United States isn't in there. I almost wonder if that was deliberate in order to like lay low a little bit. So there's a bit of a technical deep dive here if you're interested in learning more about the technical aspects of how it circumvents being detected on the Google Play Store. And I'm just scrolling to see if there's an infographic. There is not. Let's keep going.
And now some huge thanks to our sponsor, DropZone AI. Picture an analyst who works tirelessly around the clock. DropZone AI's analyst investigates every alert and provides comprehensive, actionable reports. Boost your SOC's capabilities with a 3-month free trial. Available at dropzone.ai. That is DROPZONE.ai.
All right. Hey, super chat from Olu Ogunbayi. Thank you, Olu Ogunbayi. Super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Yes, sir. All right, guys. Hey, did we have any first timers in here? Hashtag first timers. I didn't know if we caught any. If we did, what's up, first timer?
Welcome to the party, pal.
All right. Hey, let's do this. All right, y'all. We are straight crushing it. We're on the bingo train, baby. Love it, love it, love it. Hopefully everybody's doing well. We got 47 bingo cards in play. I guess I didn't really explain how to do the bingo at the beginning, but I didn't see any first timers either. So, Vico, hashtag first timer. Welcome to the party, Vico. Love it, love it, love it. Thanks so much for being here. Let's spam that John McClane action for our friend Vico. Yes, hey, Chen. Hey, Chen, you're a super user squad member. Let's get into that in a second. Guys, if you're getting value from the stream, hit the like button on YouTube. It goes a long way to help other people find the channel, like Hey Chen, like Vico, like the old timers, DJ BSEC rediscovering the channel, LOL. All right, hey, shout out and love to Antisyphon Training, guys. Antisyphon Training is disrupting the traditional cybersecurity training industry by providing high-quality, cutting-edge education to everyone, like Jay and Michelle, Tyler Lee, Sarah. What's up, Sarah? Jesse Johnson. Look at all this, guys. Regardless of financial position, you can get practical skills, learn what is taught, get the things that employers are looking for, and you can do it in a fun and inclusive way. Guys, all about good times over at Antisyphon. I love it. Hey, Chen with the bingo. Woo! All right.
Best friends.
Hey, Chen with the super chat. Hashtag bingo. Love it. Hope you're enjoying it. Hey, Chen. If you do get bingo, just spam it in chat and we'll look at your card. Guys, thanks Antisyphon so much. Go to antisyphontraining.com to check their training and see if it works for you. Again, they're a sponsor, but I love them. And I love the people that work there. Hashtag if Zach Hill's in chat, Kathy Chambers. All right, guys. Hey, the Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Hey, it's Chen. You see her on chat right there. First timer yesterday, second timer today, became a squad member, upgraded the squad membership, got the Simply Cyber Community Baton post, really basically going to the entire buffet of Simply Cyber. Oh, hey, there he is. Hey, Chen. And Chien, I hope I'm saying this correctly. Chien, it's good to see you, sir. Look at this post. I'm going to drop a link to this post in chat. Go connect with him. Figure out who he is, what's going on, comment, post, all the things. Love it. Hey, Chen would love to ask you to tag somebody. If you would like to share your story with the community, if you would like to grow your professional network, go raise your hand right now. Say you would like to carry the baton today. It's very simple. Chen did the same thing yesterday. Volunteered, went on LinkedIn, shared his story, used the hashtag Simply Cyber Community Challenge, and now people are going there and connecting. Good to see you. All right, so we need one person. Everybody else just search for the hashtag Simply Cyber Community Challenge. Connect and post with everybody. All right, hey, it's Friday. Jen, every Friday we do Jokes of the Day presented by James McQuiggan, who's in chat. We're going to get our la-la-la-las on, and then we're going to get our jokes on. Why was the smartphone wearing glasses? Because it lost its contacts. Get our la-la-las on. So good. So good. So good. Let's finish the jokes here. James wants to know, what's the biggest lie anyone can tell? I have read and agreed to all the terms and conditions. Oh my God. So true. Who does read a EULA? I've read them before because I'm a GRC nerd, but even I click through them. Okay. How many programmers does it take to screw in a light bulb? How many programmers, James, does it take to screw in a light bulb? None. That's a hardware problem. So true. So true. Nabs wants the baton. Nabs wants the baton. Chen, if you can tag Nabs in chat. Nabs, if you can confirm the baton pass, and we will get your story later today. Final question. Why are websites based on the hypertext transfer protocol? Oh, this is a good one. Why are websites based on hypertext transfer protocol? This is a fun fact if you didn't know it. Because the websites have too much Java. Oh, yeah. A little bit of a groan there. Thank you so much, everybody. James McQuiggan at 35,000 feet. Always bringing the jokes. Keeping it real. Let's slide back into the stories and finish strong. We got a great panel for you after the show ends. AMA with a group and much, much more. I will intervene if we nail the bingo. Guys, let's go back to it.
3 cyber-related bills clear Senate panel. This week saw 3 sets of cybersecurity legislation pass through a key Senate committee on Wednesday toward consideration before the full chamber. The first was an act that, quote, seeks to streamline the country's patchwork of federal cyber rules, end quote, including harmonizing federal cyber requirements for the private sector. The second was the Healthcare Cybersecurity Act, in response to the Change healthcare problem, which calls on CISA to collaborate with the Department of Health and Human Services on cyber defenses. The third was the Federal Cyber Workforce Training Act, which, quote, tasks the National Cyber Director with coming up with a plan to create a centralized resource and training center for federal cybersecurity workforce development, end quote. In part, this would help create a program that would involve the private sector and academia to develop and deliver cyber training.
Wow. All right. So let's spend a minute on this story. This is a good one. Like really quick side note, Augusta, Georgia is like low key. Like if you live in that area, you know it. But like for those who don't, Augusta, Georgia is like quietly blowing up into like cyber mecca. A lot of businesses are moving there. The government, there's an army base there. I think it's Fort Gordon. They may have renamed it because it just said something else down here. And then I think University of Georgia, Augusta, or Augusta University or something like that is like high into cyber. All right. So listen, at the federal level, bills are being introduced. Hopefully they get voted on and passed to do a couple things. One is to harmonize federal cybersecurity regulations and to make it easier on private sector. Now, this is really important and really valuable, and I like it. And this is a GRC thing, but I'll spend a minute on it. Hashtag GRC Mafia. Right now, you know, all of the different public and private sector has come a long way into interacting with each other and helping each other. For a long time, public sector was doing public sector stuff and private sector was doing like its own thing, and kind of like, you, depending on your industry, you would have your own thing. Obama passed the Critical Infrastructure Act or whatever it was, and now there's like 18 critical infrastructures. So like healthcare, for example, because they mentioned that healthcare is its own like, you know, domain, and Department of Health and Human Services kind of runs it, and they have their own critical infrastructure plan and security requirements and all this other stuff. And the other ones do as well, and that's fine. But as we mature as a organization or as a system, you always want to realize economies of scale, because it saves you on resources, it saves you on time as far as like aligning and moving quickly. And that's basically what this is. Rex with a super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Wait, they had to pass new bills to do things they should have been doing already? Yes. Exactly. So unfortunately, this is one of those ones where you know, the US federal government turns around or like moves at like a glacial pace. So things like this, it's an opportunity. I guarantee you this is a direct response. I'd have to look. Okay, so this is a speculative hot take. Again, I'd have to look at the timing of all this, but I wouldn't be surprised if this bill was drafted up the week after the Change Healthcare issue happened, right? The Change Healthcare massively impacted lots of US citizens. It was bad. People couldn't get their medicines. Doctors weren't getting paid. Ransomware has caused like that blood company from being able to like get blood to people. So real impacts, real problems. So if we could move faster, if we could share data, all these things. So I suspect that is part of like the catalyst for this. Now, another thing they said, they want to like empower CISA to kind of do a lot of organization and kind of quarterbacking some of this stuff. I want to remind everybody that I hate like DC politics. It wasn't that long ago, like last year, 2 years ago, I think maybe last year, that they were talking about like slashing CISA's budget 25% or 30% or something like that. I'll do that live on stream right now. Like CISA budget cut. Yeah, right here. Like, I mean, actually, they did pass it. Right? Look at this story title right here. This is from Mary Talk. Again, I didn't validate if this is like a right or left-leaning thing, but like it seems like this is a fact. CISA had taken $34 million budget cut. Now, what does that mean? Was their budget $35 million and they're taking an absolute haircut? Or is it $25 billion and this is nothing? So percentages always matter more than whole numbers, but I would assume that this is a kind of a decent haircut. They're going to, oh no, not really. So CISA is going to get $2.8 billion and they took a $34 million pay cut. So that may have been some concession. I feel like they were talking about taking way more. So if you slash, and by the way, this is more of a speculative hot take tinfoil hat thing, but I think it had to do more around, CISA is responsible for election security. So I think slashing their budget had something to do with that. But anyways, they are getting funded. They are going to run this. I'm a huge fan of CISA. Obviously, what's her Jen Easterly? She gets her own emote in chat. We'll see how it goes. All right. Now, the other thing to spend a minute on. This is basically two stories, and honestly, the fact that the first half of the stories were kind of thin, right? Like they were like weak tea. I'll spend a little bit of extra time on this. The other part of the story they're talking about is developing the Federal Cyber Workforce Training Act, which will basically come up with a centralized resource and training center for federal cybersecurity workforce development. Now, this doesn't necessarily help me and you because maybe we're not going to go work for the federal government in the United States, but dude, like cyber is here. Cyber's been here, right? And let's be real. Like the federal government doesn't pay well, all right? Private sector pays well. So if you're given the choice between a, I don't know, $60,000 a year job or a $120,000 a year job, straight cash, homie, you're going to go there. But if you can't, if you don't have the practical experience, if you don't have the skills, if you don't have the network, maybe you can't get that private sector job. But this federal cyber workforce training situation, I bet you anything it's going to be set up in a way where like you come get training and it's like a commitment like you make for the military for college. You make a commitment and then you come work in the federal government for 2 years, 3 years, depending on what training you get. And then you can go off to the private sector. It's a win-win for everybody because then people who want to get in the industry, plus they get training. Plus it's consistent across the entire U.S. federal government. So there's like a farm system, right? Think about sports, right? There's a farm system for you to pull from, recruit from, whatever you want to from. That means that the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Treasury and the IRS all have qualified talent to fill the roles and actually deliver cyber. So let's hope. I mean, this isn't the first time. By the way, if you think this is the first time that this has come up, it's not. There's actually, oh my God, what is it? It's, is it NIST Cyber Workforce Framework? Yeah. So, I mean, this nice framework has existed for some time. I think I have a video on the channel for it. They have all these different work roles, right? Oversight, governance. These are kind of like functions of work that would involve cyber. So it's not all operations, right? Operations is actually only one section. There's like a lot of management and bloatware going on in here. But my point is they've already got the taxonomy of roles. They just don't have proper training to facilitate it. So to me, this reads like a next step and extension of what's going on. All right, let's keep going here. Really quick. Will Reed started GRC apprenticeship program to help address workforce cybersecurity skills gap. Let's go. Nice. Hey, Russell Watlington, first timer. Welcome to the party, pal. Good to have you here, Russell.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Phishing campaign targets OneDrive users. Researchers at the Trellix Advanced Research Center are warning of a sophisticated phishing campaign that tricks OneDrive users into executing a PowerShell script that leads to their systems being compromised. Users receive an email with an HTML attachment that falsely describes a DNS issue that needs to be fixed in order to reconnect to OneDrive. The HTML document includes a dialog box with a button marked How to Fix, which triggers the download of the malicious program files. Trellix states that most of the users targeted by this campaign, 40%, are in the US, with others in South Korea, Germany, and India. Eriakos
kind of lame. I wish I could play the saxophone sound, but I can't. Both screenshots are from OneDrive, so you can't really see what the phishing email looks like. So they say a crafting phishing campaign. What's crafty about it? Here's my thing, guys. I'm being real. If Carl, right? If an executive gets an email talking about a DNS issue, delete. Next. Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Who's got time for DNS issues when you don't work in IT? That sounds like a nerd problem. Forward that to help desk. Forward that to BSEC. What are we doing here? So first of all, I mean, it says it's sophisticated. It says it's working, but I don't know. For my money, unless they're targeting IT staff who would get like get excited about a DNS issue. By the way, spoiler alert, it's always DNS. Like when there's problems. But BSEC is saying, thank you, BSEC, for the assist. This is the graphic right here. It is an HTML page. This is not really what OneDrive looks like. This is a malicious OneDrive lookalike, which, by the way, should queue your users, because if you log in and get this HTML and it doesn't look like what your normal OneDrive looks like, that should be an indicator. So here's the thing. What's the actual impact? Let me figure that out really quickly. Once we figure out the impact, we can back out and how to defend from this. Dude, it tells you to open a quick link menu, access PowerShell, paste a command, and execute it. Bro, come on. This is like, how are people falling for this? How are people falling for this? Dude, literally, stop it. Stop it. Am I being punked right now? Is this story a plant? Dude, seriously, a sophisticated threat actor is sending an email to victims who are literally copying PowerShell, opening a PowerShell command and running it. I've seen this attack technique work in a physical on-prem. Al Hazred, who's a Twitch streamer, great guy. If you get to know him, he's a pen tester. He does physicals. And he told me a story how he couldn't break into an organization. And he literally went over and vibed with a employee and then got the employee to run code on their machine. But he was standing over his shoulder. And he had worked social engineering to build trust and authority. This is a dodgy email with a crappy attachment that tells you to open a PowerShell. You know what? My Aunt Dorothea, you say PowerShell, and what are we doing here? Okay. So anyways, let's back up. Sophisticated. No, I think you might want to choose a different word choice there. Okay, so here's the deal. First of all, educate your end users. Tell your end users, if you're ever asked by a random email address or email to run code in a black screen, right? You don't even call it PowerShell, just a black screen. Sus. Okay? Email security gateway. Keep those things dynamic. HTML attachments probably should be, ban hammered. Like EDR for running PowerShell in a way that is weird. I'm sure this reaches out to some C2 domain and pulls down a separate file, right? It doesn't say here. I would assume it does, right? The PowerShell isn't going to build a custom payload on the box. It's going to reach out. So there's multiple levels of defense that we can implement here, from the human side to the technical side, that, should protect your organization. Again, go check out the IOCs. I'm sure the PowerShell code. This is a cool thing. So really quickly, when we talk about indicators of compromise, we talked earlier that yesterday. Pyramid of Pain. The bottom is the hash signature for the files. That can be changed really easily. We saw just yesterday, one piece of malware had 107,000 different variants. Each one's got its own signature. For this particular one, the PowerShell code that is being sent to the end user to run, that is code and it could be manipulated. But realistically, the threat actor is spraying this email with the same PowerShell, right? So I think if you're looking for the PowerShell behavior, right, you can add spaces and new line carriage returns, whatever, obfuscate the crap out of it. But at the end of the day, when you run that PowerShell and it does the thing that this threat actor wants to do, that behavior is going to be consistent. We've gone up the pyramid to TTPs, which is the top, right? Way to go. We crested the summit. So if you're doing that, that has high fidelity of oh my God, Jerry. Sorry, Kennedy. It has higher fidelity of like screwing with the threat actor and ultimately protecting your organization. So that's what you need to do here.
Commerce scam campaign.
Also, hashtag what's up, Deb Wigley. Saw Deb Wigley in chat. If you don't know, Deb Wigley, always all about good times. Happy to say hello.
Targets Facebook users. A warning from security specialists at Recorded Future about a sophisticated information stealing fraud network that lures victims to fake web shops via malicious Facebook ads. It has been named Eriakos, Eriakos, after the CDN network used by the group behind the scam, which, quote, exclusively targets mobile devices and users, with the scam websites only accessible via malvertising in order to evade security scanners, end quote. The ad campaigns are short-lived, designed to send out dozens of ads all pointing to the same scam website in order to overwhelm Facebook's filters. The ads carry an urgency statement to entice quick purchases and have been traced back to operations in China.
All right, Rex with a super chat.
Did we just become best friends? Yep.
You think that's scary? You don't even want to know how often I get computers in for repair that had System 32 in the Explorer Quick Links tree. Ugh. All right. So basically, I have a Facebook account, but it's literally like it's like terminating the end of a pipe or like the end of an electrical outlet. Like I did it, I created it. I have some automated stuff that runs to it, but for the most part, I don't do Facebook. Like I never really got into it. Too much OPSEC for me. Meanwhile, I have a show and every Tuesday I share a personal story, but that's besides the fact. Anyways, I've heard from the youngs. Did you guys know that I teach at the Citadel military college? So my students are 18 and 19 years old. So I always ask them, I kind of play the goofy old man and I ask them like, what's hot, what's not. Snapchat is still kind of popular, but Facebook, that's your grandparents' social media. Like they have abandoned Facebook in droves. Threat actors know this. Threat actors are targeting Facebook. So this is a Facebook-based attack. They're spamming the living crap out of users on Facebook with different ads, basically, that promise whatever and ultimately drive you to a scam website where they're going to rip you off. Okay? 600 fraud websites stood up. Again, guys, this is not your dad's internet, right? Where like, it takes you like 20 minutes to set up Apache web server and you get the little splash screen that you've successfully got up the web server and then you start editing index.html. This is like manufacturing wholesale crime of just pumping out malicious websites. They can do it fast, they can do it under control, and they can have a single threat actor kind of managing an admin panel. All right, so this infrastructure exists. And basically, once they get you there, they're going to steal your money, steal your data, steal your PII, hide your wife, hide your kids.
You are so dumb.
Right? Anton Dobson reference. And they're just going to get you. I have talked to so many people, and I know many of you in chat have also, like I've talked to so many parents or older people. I even had a call with my cousin right before I went live today. Of people just getting scammed, man. I had good friends' parents get scammed for $5,000. I had a good friend's parents get scammed for $5,000 not too long ago. Basically, some threat actors are big game hunters and they're attacking businesses. But dude, there's good money just to grind on individuals and victimize them. It sucks. Okay. But education, knowledge is power. The thing is, like, for these people right here, this story is for your end users, but for them to take to their friends and family and loved ones. This attack, these threat actors, these threat actors are not targeting a business. They're targeting individuals on Facebook because they know individuals don't have firewalls, EDR, end user awareness training, behavioral analytics, incident response teams. They know that these people are just basically, forgive the term, surfing the web naked. And when I say excuse the term because I said naked, but it is accurate what I'm saying. They're basically void of defenses. They're like I've been reading a lot of the Witcher series, but they're like going to battle with just a sword and like no armor on. Maybe they got a loincloth. Like, it's just, they're easy targets and the reward is smaller, right? We just saw a $75 million Fortune 50 company get popped the other day. So you can hit that one jackpot. Stop. But I can't. Hold on, I got to get out of mod chat. You can hit that lottery. You can hit that lottery. I've been hacked. But these threat actors know, hey, listen, if I can get $5,000 a day from some random victim, that's pretty good. I got to show up. I got to grind every day. But at the end of the year, not a bad haul. So do you see what I'm saying? Like, it's all about intent and return on investment, right? Again, I always, because I do business now, I start thinking in business terms quite a bit. Like, it's all about business. Think about it. Like, if you're a threat actor and you're going to invest 40 hours of your life, 120 hours of your life, whatever, you're going to make crime your full-time job. Well, then what is the output? Like, you want to get paid, right? That's the deal here.
Straight cash, homie.
So you could spend a year trying to attack, Home Depot, and maybe you do it, maybe you don't. And at the end of a year, if you don't, you're broke, right? So it's all about return on investment. So that's why these are working and why they're effective and why we need to continue as a society to continue to educate our population. And you know what really sucks? And this chaps my butt every time. What really sucks is elderly people are often targeted. They're technically illiterate in a lot of cases. They're very trusting. Sometimes they're like not as deliberate in thinking. They have access to retirement funds. They want to be on Facebook. A lot of them are lonely, so they can be targeted by romance scams. That's not what this is. But I'm just telling you, like, it just sucks. So do what you can. Help your fellow person out, okay?
Argentina will use AI to predict future crimes.
What?
Precog alert. In a move straight out of the novel and movie Minority Report, Argentina's security forces have, quote, announced plans to use artificial intelligence to predict future crimes, end quote. Put in place by far-right President Javier Milei, the security unit will use, quote, machine learning algorithms to analyze historical crime data to predict future crimes. It is also expected to deploy facial recognition software to identify wanted persons, patrol social media, and analyze real-time security camera footage to detect suspicious activities, end quote.
This is absolutely ludicrous. Play this forward, okay? Play this forward. What Argentina is going to do is, when they say predict future crimes, they said Minority Report, but listen, it's not like, my suspicion is it's not like, oh, BSEC's going to rob a bank tomorrow. It's much more like there's a probability that there's going to be an uptick in bank robberies, or there's going to be an uptick in speeding violations or whatever, so they can focus their law enforcement efforts in that area. Okay,
Shall we play a
They're also going to deploy facial recognition everywhere to identify people of interest who are wanted for arrests. Okay, guys, let me tell you where this is going to go. This is a speculative hot take, but I feel pretty confident on this one. Hold on. Let's do a YouTube short, okay? Speculative hot take on this one. Yeah, on the surface, it's good to have facial recognition to catch people who have warrants out their arrest. It's good to target law enforcement to say, hey, there's going to be an uptick in bank robbery, so we should focus on that. But play it forward. What they're going to start using AI, I suspect, to start looking at social media accounts, looking at behaviors, starting to see dissent, starting to see people who, yes, they might have not committed a crime yet, but they are leaning or they're causing indication that they might be trouble. So let's use our facial recognition and round them up before there's a problem. This is like a greased up 90-degree angle of a slippery slope. This is not good. We'll see what happens. Like, civil rights are going to be totally a hot mess express. I would bet this will result in protest and revolution in the next couple of years if this does follow the trajectory that this president of Argentina is suspecting. I mean, Minority Report, yes, it's a movie and it points to that thing and it highlights some of the challenges. But dude, when you are using wholesale surveillance to round people up, it becomes trivial to just say, hey, like, this person is a problem for me. Go find them. It becomes easy to weaponize it for individuals. Let's just say that you're a regular person in law enforcement and you suspect your spouse is cheating on you, or you just got terminated a relationship, but you're not done with it. So you're going to find out who that person's now dating using surveillance. And why not? This is just shooting from my hip. Why not bump it up a little bit and predict that that new person they're dating is going to commit a crime and throw them in jail? This is a terrible idea. AI, yeah, I get it. You're here. It's not a solution for everything. This is a hot mess express all day, every day. Oh my God. All right. Let's go. Spicy here. All right. We're at 8:58. All about good times ish. Jesus.
Oh, we've got a great Friday of light.
All right, let's do this really quickly. I'm not like, I need to calm down. How do I calm down? I'll tell you how I calm down. Oh yeah, have a cigarette. All right. I'm just being a little playful, little silly. Let's go. What's the song I always do? Oh, here it is. All right, everybody. Hell of a good show. Stay with us. I'm telling you, we haven't got a bingo yet, but I hope we have a bingo winner chicken dinner. We still got 30 more minutes. Stay with us. This is episode 678 of Simply Cyber's Daily Cyber Threat Brief. Someone tell Nick Barker that we're ending right on schedule. Winner. Stay tuned because we're going to pivot to jaw jacking, which is a 30-minute AMA session all about good times. It's community. We're going to try to answer as many questions to help you level up and empower yourself to have a rewarding career in cybersecurity. Plus, we high-five each other and share good jokes and good times. Fridays, we always try to do a panel, and I already see a couple people queuing up in chat on the panel. We're actually going to have a special guest. A Twitch streamer that we rated last week has agreed to come in, so we'll keep an eye out for him. Tim McDonald said bingo. Tim McDonald, hold on, let's fact check Tim McDonald before we get out of here. Tim McDonald, hold on. Tim McDonald, all right, let's put him on the spot. Oh, yes, sir. I can't read this first one. The Honorable Jen Easterly, Anime Wow, LinkedIn, The Free Square, Sorry Kennedy, AI, Straight Cash, homie. Yes. Tim McDonald is our winner. Congratulations, Tim McDonald, for winning the bingo. Straight crushing it, homie. Good to have a winner in here. All right, Haircut Fish. Better luck next time. All right, hey, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope you enjoyed episode 678. We'll see you in a hot minute. Oh, our special guest is here, so we're going to introduce him in a minute. All right, let me go find Jerry Guy. He's always trashing me, which is like so like, okay, hold on. Let's go get Jerry Guy and see what happens. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Jawjacking. I am your host, Jerry Guy, coming hot off the heels on that episode 678 of Daily Cyber Threat Brief Podcast with that nerd, Dr. Gerald Auger. Oh my God, what a stiff. Jesus, Gerald. Can you be more of a nerd? Seriously. Where was your turtleneck, you dork? What we do here is we hang out, we ask you ask questions, we give answers. We always do a panel on Friday. It's all about good times. And I'm super pumped to be welcoming in special guests. In fact, this is perfect because some of our guests are long timers but haven't been around, and some are newcomers. So let me introduce you to the panel. I just realized I had this overlay on the whole show. What a donkey. Hold on, let me get rid of this overlay. Ain't nobody need an overlay up in here. All right, so let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to DJ Bisek. You remember what he looks like?
Hey, I'm back.
Very nice. All right, we got our friend. All right, we're loaded up on the panel. So thank you, panelists. We're full. All right, let's bring on Theo. Theo, you're in the house.
All right. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to the party.
Oh my God.
I see B-Sec's got his colors on behind him. I didn't have I got to put on a different color back there.
Oh no, you're perfect. You got Cleveland Browns love all up in your color scheme. All right, let's bring on Casually Joseph, aka Casually Nosif, aka Casually Gosif. How you doing, Joseph?
I'm doing good. They're talking about having colors in their background. I've got a blank wall and a moving box. I mean,
oh yeah, no, you are a 1995 Hewlett Packard personified.
yeah.
All right, and finally, we were really going to have a full stack.
There's
All right.
another one in there.
All right, no more panelists after these. All right, we got the Cosmic Cowboy, Jesse Johnson, in house. How you doing, Cosmic?
Waking up.
All right, Left Coast love. Actually, this represents our Left Coast contingent. Here we go. And Mr. Tyler Ramsby, who hacks me live on stream on the regular. Good to see you guys. How you
Tyler,
doing?
you needed to come in with it on. That would have been fantastic.
Oh my God, that's Henry Danielson. You can meet him at Aerospace Village next week at DEF CON. All right, guys, let me cue it all up. Theo, really quickly, the other panelist the chat is familiar with. If you would, Theo, can you just give us a 30-second on who you are so people know when you're responding, like what you're, how you're responding from?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Theo. I'm a huge fan of your stream, Jerry. I've watched Tyler do hacking on his boxes. I'm just a guy that had to reinvent himself a few times. I was in logistics, I was in restaurants, and I got my master's in cybersecurity. And I guess long story short is that I had to reinvent myself. I had to teach myself a lot of things about hacking, about hands-on keyboard. After I got my master's, I had to do that stuff to get myself to a point where I was employable. And I decided to take that journey and do it live on Twitch. And I got a great community of people that help me. And I just want to help other people again. I just want to do what I can to offer what experience I have to help other people get to where they want to be in cybersecurity.
I love it. And mods, can someone grab his Twitch channel so I can put it into the group chat there? All right, so everybody, we know who Theo is. You recognize all these other cool cats. Let's get the questions flowing, mod chats. Deb Wigley likes that Jerry Guy looks more nerdy than Dr. Gerald Auger. As always, that's what we do here. Let me put a little caption on. Theo, are you going to Black Hat DEF CON? You going to be in Vegas next week?
I wanted to be. It was on my list of things. To give you a little bit more background, too, I actually lost my job at the beginning of the year in March.
Ooh, that's
threw
tough,
me a
man.
little bit of a curveball, but I'm actually starting my new gig, my new role here this week. I'm waiting for my equipment to arrive. So if I got a dip to get to the door to sign for my equipment, that's why I'll take off.
Oh my God. So you're starting a new job in cyber?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh my God. Hold on.
Penetration testing
Dude, I use
engineer.
this sound effect every chance I get. Yes, sir. Theo getting the dub. I love it. All right. Hey, let me, I'll drop a link to his Twitch channel in chat. Go check him out. He's always streaming and doing
Cool.
good stuff.
Thank
Good
you for that.
people. All right. Let's get these questions flowing, guys. Where are they? Drop them in chat and we will get into them. Do you guys see any questions come through?
I haven't seen any questions, but what I did want to talk about is that phishing message that comes through. How are they going to put something out that says, "Hey, this is an HTML." It comes through HTML, number one. Number two, you have to run PowerShell, because I know you blew up all over that. You have to run PowerShell, and then number three, hey, we don't really know what any IOCs are, so we'll let you know later. That was the most jank story that has come out in a while.
Yeah, I think I keyed off that one particularly. I'm such a nerd about these things, but they said sophisticated attack, and I'm like, dude, copy and paste this PowerShell, open PowerShell, and then run it. Like, what end user is going to be like? I know
allowing end users to run PowerShell.
Well,
that's
yeah,
my
there's
question.
that too. Tyler, how often are you hacking boxes by getting people to run PowerShell for you?
You're not. I mean, like when I do, I only do a little bit of social engineering, but usually it'll be like a pretext call with an email, right? You call the user and tell them, hey, we sent you this email. Can you fill this out? And I'll help you fill it out. But you're not like sending them an HTML page and PowerShell. That's not going to work in any secure organization anyway.
Copy and paste this, open PowerShell, and put it in there and hit run for me, please.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's so bold. It's like they'll never see it coming.
Yeah, that's so ridiculous.
Can you imagine walking down like towards the break room and you look over your shoulder and you see an end user just like trying to like run power? You're like, what do you? Excuse me?
Yeah, how would you feel if you're in the break room and you have an end user walk up to you and you're like, yeah, I got this email and it says I need to launch admin PowerShell, but I keep getting denied, and it took me a while to find the admin PowerShell.
Yeah.
So if you could help me like get it spun up, and you're just like sitting there drinking your coffee, you're like,
Yeah, that would be a full-on
You
spray
what?
of coffee, like just like spray it against the wall.
Well, so the other thing is one of the IOCs that you could do is it downloads auto IT and runs an auto IT script. So you could put something in there that's looking for the auto IT exec file.
All right. Yep. I like that. I like that. So we've got actions here. I'm just getting made fun of by JMod. I was trying to find the melty emote face, so I can't find it while I'm on chat. All right, we got questions coming in, guys. Space Tacos wants to know, Theo, what do you do in cybersecurity? Red, blue, GRC?
I do red. I do a lot of red. One of the first things that I did when I was in my master's was like drilling down on all like Wireshark logs and finding like someone's location through a Wireshark. I love red team stuff. I'll dabble in blue team things, and but I love making computers do some stuff they're not supposed to do.
Yeah, you and Tyler Ramsby could be BFFs there. I like it. Tyler Ramsby also enjoys making me do
real
things
quick,
I don't want
like,
to do.
I love what Tyler does. Like because I follow Tyler on Twitch too. When I saw his kids like drawings and stuff in the background, I'm just a huge fan of someone that like, I'm just a huge fan of like this is me. So like, this is me. Let's learn how to hack.
Yeah, totally 100%. And that's why I love, we were talking about this yesterday. I love community, and I love like bringing people on and like letting people see the human side of it, right? Because I feel like a lot of times, and this is kind of an open conversation, and then I'll do some questions. We can go around the horn. I feel like a lot of times with online content, not influencer stuff, but cybersecurity content and interviews in cybersecurity, it's all about the practitioner, like the practice and the work and frameworks and 0 days and all this other stuff. And like, I feel like it almost sets an unrealistic precedent for people who are watching it to be like, oh, like it. I think Casually Joseph said it yesterday. It feeds imposter syndrome, unfortunately. And in reality, like, we're all humans. We're all like, we make mistakes, we do things. And it just, I think personally, it helps level set and make it feel more accessible for everybody. Tyler, you got a thought on that?
Yeah, I'm trying to fix my microphone, so I'll just talk really loud. Hopefully, does it
Patching
sound
the
better at
problem.
all?
Tyler, it sounds like you're coming from a different mic. Honestly.
Yeah, let's throw it to let's throw it to Jesse Johnson, the Cosmic Cowboy. What are your thoughts about getting to be real with people?
I think there's a lot of people out there, myself included, who had to like Theo had to reinvent ourselves a number of times. And when you see all this stuff that propagates imposter syndrome, the opposite of that is community, just like you're saying, community building. And hey, people are people, and we're all on this journey from point A to point B. And I think the only way to help each other along is to recognize that and just be yourself. Like, good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, just be yourself. Like, that's it. Nobody wants the BS version of you. Trust me. There's enough influencers out there already doing that.
I just want to dunk on Tyler simply because he's been messing with me the whole stream. Yeah. Joseph, since you had pointed out that imposter syndrome, final thoughts on that before we pivot to the next?
Yeah, I mean, as it's been said, I think my favorite part about conferences, I mean, the content's great, don't get me wrong, but my favorite part is like talking to people and those conversations that happen in DMs, and of course any place where they're willing to be a little bit more public. It does ground them a lot more. They don't seem like titans, because that is a lot of things. I will say, coming up in this industry, there are people whose names you have to know because they are thought leaders and they are the wave. And if you don't know them, then you're behind, right? But if you get to talk to these people, you realize that they are a lot like me. They're a lot like you. They're just people. And it's a good thing to do. Just getting to know people.
It definitely breaks it down.
Most everybody in this industry does not have a big head.
No.
We might all seem like we do, but we don't.
That nerd Dr. Gerald Auger does sometimes. Hey, let's talk about this. Wesley Widner wants to know thoughts on Try Hack Me SOC Level 1 course. So it's an entire kind of career path for the SOC 1. Anybody on the panel taken this in any facet?
I saw it come.
All right, go ahead, Theo.
I was just saying that I think I've done like the first couple questions of it, but I think they re-released, like there's a new, they refreshed it or whatever, I believe.
Okay. Jesse, have you done it?
I actually started it, and then this is like a terrible way to answer the question, but then I found the Hack the Box SOC, and that was, in my opinion, significantly better. So I went with Hack the Box.
All right. Looks like so I'm going to pivot. Well, Joseph, it looks like you've got some input on this too. Go ahead.
Yeah. So I did most of the Try Hack Me SOC Level 1 path. It was a lot of refreshers. I did not know they refreshed it. That's pretty cool. But I am team Hack the Box CDSA. It is so much better. I'm the one who showed Jesse to it.
All right, so this is perfect. I'm going to pivot to this question. I'm going to start with Theo, then BSEC, and then Jesse, and then Joseph. If Tyler comes back, if he finds his way, we'll do that. Try Hack Me or Hack the Box. You're going to get access to one of them, either for yourself to train, or you just hired a new person who has zero skills, and you get access to one of these platforms only for them to learn. Theo, which platform?
Neither. Start at overthewire.net. No,
okay.
No.
Such an offensive security professional's answer too.
It depends, honestly. If you're starting out, I think you should start with Try Hack Me. Now, Hack the Box says they started doing more of their guided rooms that kind of mimic Try Hack Me. They kind of give you line by line and give you kind of like the step process to go through, which is more beginner friendly. But if you're just starting out, I say Try Hack Me. And if you've been in it for a little bit and you need more of a challenge, Hack the Box.
100% agree with that.
Okay.
That's exactly what I was going with.
Okay.
And if you're saying it's somebody brand spanking new, Try Hack Me.
Mm-hmm.
Joseph, thoughts?
I agree. Yeah, Try Hack Me for beginner. Hack the Box once you're a little seasoned.
All right, Jesse?
I have to second that.
All right, so you've got...
Fourth it.
Yeah, so we've got a strong panel.
You got a clean sweep.
strong panel of practitioners all saying basically try hack me for early and then hack the box for more advanced skills. Also, quick shout out and love to who is it? Brent B. The chat's popping right now, so it's hard for me to find this. But Haircut Fish and Brent B. somewhere I think said that I think Try Hack Me just added 13 more rooms to the SOC core path. And Haircut Fish says he's done it and enjoyed it. So it looks like people are enjoying both. So maybe you can't go wrong. I do appreciate, by the way, can we just talk for a second? I appreciate that Hack the Box. I think once they got private equity investments, but they used to have this like challenge to even register an account on the platform. And that was so non-inclusive and kind of absurd that like you had to like be qualified enough just to get an account on the platform. Like nothing says like come learn, like you can't even get an account. Like I always found that to be like a pain in the butt.
But it was fun to get. I mean, you could prove that you could get an account.
It was fun, but it kind of defeats the purpose. I literally made a video on my channel how to do the challenge just so you can get an account.
I did it with my kid.
Huh?
I did it with my kid.
Yeah,
I had him on one laptop and me on the other to see who was going to get in first.
ASCII art is so hot.
That Hansel's so hot right now.
All right. Hey, looks like we Tyler Ramsby ran down to Best Buy. Hey, Tyler.
Hey, is this better at all? Hopefully this sounds better.
Yeah, that sounds better.
All right, beautiful. Yeah, I threw Ubuntu on my other computer and haven't set up the audio, so I think it's just bugged out.
Yeah. Tyler Ramsey makes content. All right. Hey, so Sarah wants to know, Sarah's a relatively newcomer to the Simply Cyber community. Great to have you here, Sarah. What kind of labs do y'all work on that made you employable? So like what's a really practical lab? Each of you get ready to share one if you can. And if not, you can punt because we got plenty of people, plenty of questions. She wants real world experience, but also be able to showcase it, right? So it's kind of double edged. So something that gives you practical experience, but also has the ability to be, curated on a resume in a certain way. Tyler, I'll throw it to you. You're offensive and you do stuff like this all the time. What are your thoughts for Sarah?
Yeah, so on the pen testing side of things, I would recommend trying to get a CVE. So me and Jerry did a whole stream about this. I have various videos on this, but CVEs are just setting up a home lab with some open source software with something like Docker Hub, digging into it, and you would be surprised how easy it actually is to find 0 days or CVEs. And hey, you get a CVE on your resume, spend a week doing research, you'll get one, go through the MITRE process, and that'll look amazing in your resume. So that's what I would recommend.
BSEC, you just hired some people. Like, what would you see on a resume and be like, wow?
So for me, when I got in and when I was doing stuff, mine was more of the networking side. So I actually built out network labs and created labs to understand how to do routing, how to do switching, VLANs, and that type. Just depends on what you're doing to get in. That for me, it was all about the networking labs. When it comes to the security side, now it's just more of the day-to-day stuff.
All right, Jesse, what do you got? What can Sarah do from your perspective?
That's a great question. And I was going to talk about this next week, but I actually got hired. Last week, I got the phone call. They want to move.
All right, go ahead.
They want to move forward with an offer, and this is a cybersecurity specialist position where I will be doing red teaming, blue teaming, helping with GRC. And the lab that I think that I was able to speak to the most was a benheater.com home lab that you set up in a virtualized environment. But at the end of the day, you're setting up a firewall, you're setting up a Linux machine, Kali. Then you go from that to a couple of dual homed or, external facing vulnerable web apps. And on the inside, there's an Active Directory network. And then on the outside of that, you have that all feeding to a SIM, right? And so being able to talk about the networking side of things, the hacking side of things, then the logging and some of the alert side of things in a real world scenario was really awesome during the interview. And secondly, if you can, get out and do volunteering. Volunteer for your local churches, your schools, your nonprofits, and put that as real world, hands on the keyboard experience. And I'm telling you what, it goes far.
Heck yeah. Joseph?
I will say that this current role I got a little bit differently. I did get this one through networking, so I didn't really have to go through an interview per se. But what did make Eric take a risk on me was the fact that I was able to speak at level to different troubleshooting tips, different technical aspects of the job that I currently do. and then show that I have actually had experience in help desk where I was diagnosing different issues and, basically tracing the bad of what was going on, and then we just curated that into cyber, right? But for my previous role, I got that one because I was able to show that I had done work on my own time, and I didn't just study the vocabulary. Because in the technical interview, I was able to actually point out where things were on the diagram and be like, well, if this is this issue, then I would start looking here, and then I was going through showing them that I did know more than just study more than the books. I mean, I can't speak to a specific lab. Break your own computer.
There you go. Theo, offensive security guy. What labs would you do?
I can pivot off of breaking stuff. So I think that's a great one for labs. Like, spin up your own, if it's virtual or if it's physical. Like, one of the things that I did was build my server, which houses all my virtual machines, live on Twitch. And it took me about an hour to realize that my SSDs didn't have power. That's why I couldn't see them in the.
It's always level one, right?
Yeah. Right. But I know that. But like, I think building stuff. I think networking, like not only LinkedIn but also face to face. Like, there's still something to be said for grip and grin, and meeting people and learning about them. If it's a conference, or if it's your volunteering, or if you're meeting people, that's important. And then showing that you have the ability to do what you say that you can do. So taking that information that you learn, if it's on Try Hack Me or Hack the Box and walkthroughs, or building your server, putting it on GitHub, putting it on a blog, putting it on a web page that you created, and keep adding to that to show employers you have something tangible. You could take the employers and say, look, this is what I've been doing.
Love it. All right, guys, this is all. Hopefully, Sarah, I mean, that was like a dynamo set of answers. We're going to pivot a little bit now, where ask a question, maybe get one or two panelists to respond, go to the next one so we can do more questions, and we'll occasionally go there. So this one's for BSEC. Denise, or Dennis 6, I always say it wrong, has a meeting with a CISO for a risk analyst position. Way to go. That's awesome. What tips would you think, BSEC, that this individual can use to stand out in a good way, right?
So in this position as a risk analyst, I would say what you want to do is bring forth how you stay up to date with what's going on in that industry, whichever the company is. If that company does logistics, or that company does marketing, or whatever it is, how do you stay up to date with the risks that are going on that are pertaining to that specific company, number one, and where do you get your information from? Let them know that you are always, that you're staying active, and you're not just sitting back and then randomly looking for just random risks within the company, that you're staying ahead of the game, so to say.
Yeah, I feel like it's always like, this is kind of a played out trope, but it's true. Like, I can teach you how to do this technical thing or how to follow this SOP, but your initiative, your interest, your passion, like, those are things that you don't learn in a classroom. It's something that you are or you are not. And it's something very desirable because you want to work with people like that. You want to know that you can give them resources and they can run with it afterwards.
And as an interviewer, you want to hear that coming from the person on the other side of the table, that they're a quote unquote go-getter, that they're out there looking for that stuff, especially for somebody that's supposed to be looking for risks within your company.
Yeah, 100%. Really quick. So just to reset the board here, this is Cybersecurity Ask Me Anything. We've got a panel of experts right here from various backgrounds, various dimensions within the industry. Ask your questions, get your answers. Theo right here is on Twitch. I'll drop a link to his on Twitch. He does hacking, coding stuff. Tyler Ramsey, Hack Smarter right here. He's on Twitch. DJ BSEC, this guy, he's spinning the 1s and 2s, and he's also network engineer, super guy. Slay Security Plus every Thursday live, helping you do that. Casually Joseph's working on a channel right now that's going to be focused on reversing, I believe, right? Deep Blue stuff. Deep Blue, love it. It wasn't Deep Blue like one of those supercomputers back in the day.
It's also a command line tool for logs.
Oh, there you go. Probably his first video. And then this right here, I'm Jerry. This is Simply Cyber. You're on my channel right now. So if you're watching, welcome to the party, pal. All right, let's go. Next question. Joseph, kind of a blue lab type thing. Dennis Keefe, by the way, Dennis Keefe just passed his Security Plus yesterday. Way to go, Dennis. Dennis Keefe wants to know kind of a roadmap for setting up a lab. Let's not do a 25-minute dissertation on a step-by-step, but where setting up a home lab that would train you on blue, Joseph. Thoughts? Maybe offer up one?
At a very high level, setting up some form of SIM. I know you mentioned Waza. I haven't used Waza specifically, but setting up some form of SIM, connecting it to at least 2 or 3 endpoints, with one of them being a server, getting your logs aggregated, and then running Atomic Red Team to just view the logs.
All right, there you go. Thank you, Casually Joseph. This one for Theo. Theo, Joel wants to know, how would you present yourself at a job fair? And Tyler, this is right in your alley too, so we'll throw it to you afterwards. Theo, how would you present yourself at a job fair if you're looking for a remote tech support role? He has SOC core skills and background.
How would I present myself?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so if they're looking for a remote tech support role, I don't have anything specific for that, but I'm just saying, learning that skill set for meeting people and introducing yourself. You need to practice it just like anything else. One of the things that we talk about, or people say, well, I don't, I like to do that because I'm not good at that. Well, no one's good at anything the first time you do it, and that includes networking. You gotta get all that out. You gotta get all that awkwardness. You gotta practice your 30-second sell. You gotta practice what you explaining what you do and what you want to do and your goals. So I think just going to the job fairs and keep going to them and just keep refining that pitch.
There you go. Tyler, thoughts on this one?
Yeah, a big thing for remote work, which is what I do as a pen tester. I'm fully remote. The team is looking for technical skills, of course, so being able to show that off, but more if you're an in-person job fair, it's the chemistry side of it. So I know, for example, our team just got done hiring people, and the biggest thing, honestly, sometimes even be on the technical side, was just good chemistry. If you're joining especially a small remote team, having one person that doesn't fit the team could ruin the entire team dynamic. So in those job fairs, one is just be you, but also just study legit social skills. So I'm very much an introvert. I know many of us probably are, but I don't come off that way because I use my introvert skills that I like reading and researching. I literally read books on how to have good conversational skills and hack my way into social skills. So that would be a recommendation. Learn how to, ask questions about other people. That's how people like you. That's kind of a life pro tip right there. And try to just be yourself, show off that chemistry, and if it's a good fit, it'll end up working out. But focus a lot on that social chemistry side of things at those in-person job fairs.
There you go, Joel. Take that and go. Our very own Deb the Deb. Hey, Deb. I like Deb Wigley so much that I always make it a point to say hi. Let's talk about burnout. Many of us have, not all of us, but many of us have friends, family, or loved ones that we're interact with. Some of us are going to school while working full time. Some of us, contribute in the community. We have a lot going on. That's a standard. And the reality of working in cybersecurity is it's very demanding, and you must stay, vigilant. Jesse, what are your thoughts around burnout and trying to avoid it?
It's very, very real. I think one of the first steps to burnout is recognizing when you have it. And then number 2 is find other things outside of cyber and IT. I know that's find those things that make you tick, right? Whether it's martial arts, whether it's rapping, playing guitar, whether it's just building Legos, playing video games, hanging out with your family, whatever it is, and make sure you're very intentional with your time. I cannot stress time management, right? We talk about the technical side of things all the time and then the soft skills all the time in cyber. But I will tell you right now, having good time management skills will set you apart a lot of times in interviews and then in your professional life. So you can set aside that time to do things that are not cyber, that are not work related.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I was going to go on to the next question, but like BSEC, let's throw this to BSEC for a minute. And I only throw it to BSEC because BSEC's been living in a hole for like the last 2 weeks. You guys probably forgot what he looked like. But this is him up in the corner. BSEC, what are your thoughts about burnout and how to avoid it?
Follow what Jesse said. Number one, what I do during the day, you got to take breaks. Like in the middle of the day, I get up from the computer, walk away, go for an hour walk, put the AirPods on, either listen to music, listen to a podcast or something. But like Jesse was saying, you've got to figure out how to take a break, and you've got to figure out how to walk away from the machine and go see the family, go hang out, do other things. Even doing that, I'm still burnt out right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's a real thing. You have to, and like Jesse said, you have to realize it. And if you work with other individuals, hey, tell them, hey, I'm burnt out right now. I need to walk away. I got to have 10 minutes to myself. I got to go do something else. Make sure it is a mental thing. You really do have to walk away from it and take some time for yourself.
Yeah. I just want to share one thing because this is something that I'm working on. I work a lot and I try not to burn out, but like I just recently started, this is getting a little specific, but like I just recently started reading a book called Beginning Mindfulness, and it's around meditation and it's around being present and it's around breathing exercises and stuff. And I find that it's useful. And the thing is, like, you can breathe. Like, if you can't breathe and just focus on your breathing for 10 seconds, like if you're that busy that you don't have 10 seconds, you really need to unplug and like go somewhere else, because 10 seconds is nothing for you. So I have found that that's a way, like, I feel like my toes are hanging over the edge of the cliff, like right now. And by breathing, I feel like I can at least buy myself a step back, like 1 foot back. And allow me to balance, and then I can, get through the workday and then just immerse myself in my family.
And Jerry, all right. you actually have a video for that from last Simply CyberCon. Didn't somebody do meditation? I think there's a video of meditation.
Was it Joe Hudson?
No, it wasn't Joe.
Tyler had a really impressive one around mental health, didn't you? Last Simply CyberCon. I
had a talk. I won't say it was impressive, but hopefully it was better.
I'll say it's impressive. Go check it out. It's on the channel. If Ahmad could pull it, it's Tyler's talk. I'm almost positive it was around mental health. All right, let's do around the horn. Theo, we're going to come to you first. The question is, hey, it's from Chen, who is our resident first timer yesterday, went all in on the Cadillac package of Simply Cyber, squad membership, baton post, winning so hard. Who's a titan in industry? And I want to qualify this question by who's like a must follow, or who's somebody that's inspiring. Like, it doesn't have to be like they're the best reverse engineer in the industry. Like, who's somebody that like you're like, yeah, that's somebody that Chen should know about. Go ahead, Theo.
Aside from present company, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, really, I watched Tyler. I watched Jerry. That's really a hard question. Like, cause I watch a bunch of people, like, so I'm not going to give you one. I'm going to give you a few. Like, Al Hazred is great on Twitch. They do, he does mentoring streams. He does Hack the Box, Try Hack Me. Tiberius is the same way. I got White Panther up over here. She does dev. Like all these like heroes to me are like, I just geek out on them, and I just watch and just love. I think there's you use the InfoSec streams link that has people that are on Twitch too. So probably Tiberius or Al Hazard right now. If you're looking to get some knowledge and understanding and learn, those two definitely.
Absolutely. Hold on, I had a whole flow here. Joseph, who do you suggest?
Mad Hat, he's a big up and comer. He may not be a Titan quite yet, but he's going to be there soon. And then John Strand, of course, he's a great follow. Just taking in some of his information, his company's information. So,
yep, definitely two good ones to add. Mad Hat is so entertaining as well on YouTube Shorts. BSEC, who would you throw in there?
I'm surprised the first two didn't say John, not Strand, but Hammond.
Oh yeah.
But everybody, I'm sure everybody follows Hammond. He is definitely what you would consider a titan in this. Husky Hacks does well.
Yep.
He's put stuff out there a lot. So if you really want to get a list of the quote unquote titans in the industry, if you go to the Try Hack Me and go to what is it for Christmas time? Advent of Cyber. The Advent of Cyber. There's 24 different things that are on there, and out of those individuals, those are going to be the ones that are putting out a lot of content. They would be the ones to go follow.
Yes, and shameless plug, I've done Advent of Cyber 2 years in a row, and it is a great experience. I friggin' love it. I always fingers crossed that they'll ask me back, and when I get the email, it's so cool. Tyler, who's a titan, or who are we following? Who you recommend?
Yeah, I'll just second John Hammond, because a quick John Hammond story. He accepted an interview on my YouTube channel when I had 100 subscribers, and I was not expecting him to get back to me. And then when I ran into him at DEF CON, he actually recognized me. So when I see those big names on YouTube, I always pictured them as that's a persona they put on. But at least for him, I can say how he comes off on streams, genuinely nice individual. But two names that people haven't mentioned, and one maybe a little less well known, is my friend Ian Austin. He was the head of content engineering at Hack the Box and is the founder of Pwn Labs, which is a platform that teaches AWS, Azure, and GCP pen testing, but gives a lot back to the community. So Ian Austin, pwnlabs.io is their website. And then one more is Heath Adams, right? Heath Adams and the whole TCM security crew and their YouTube channel. Amazing people, amazing team. I've learned a lot from them. So that is who I would recommend.
There you go. Jesse, who you getting?
I'm getting for blue teams. I really enjoy the content of my DFIR. He cares a lot about people working in the SOC. He's not quite a titan. I have a hard time when people get too big on YouTube. Then I tend to kind of turn away because I feel like the content can become kind of fluffy and doesn't retain its genuineness, which I really enjoy. For red team, of course, I really, really love, and I can't speak enough good things about Alexi and Hackersploit. Phenomenal.
Oh my God, Hackersploit's OG.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. And he just genuinely cares so much about you learning the skills and the tool sets more than just getting up and pwning a box in a 20-minute YouTube.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you guys don't know, some of you young, some of you new people, Hackersploit, he's awesome. He's so awesome. He's face on Mount Rushmore, but he's so OG that the features have all kind of webbed away from weather and all that. So for me, Titan, someone to follow, whatever you want to say. I'm going to throw a nod to Eric Capuano. He doesn't post often. He's got a blog series. I think it's ericcapuano.substack. He's blue teamer. He, much like the other people we've talking about, he genuinely cares. I find myself gravitating and resonating with people like Deb Wigley, Kathy Chambers, Zach Hill, Jason Blanchard, Tyler Ramsby, everybody on this panel, the people who come on Simply Cyber Firesides. If you care and you want to see all the boats get lifted up and everybody have an opportunity to empower themselves, let's go, get on, and let's start rowing and sink. Eric Capuano 100% is that guy. I think it's Eric Capuano on Twitter. He's posting there, and definitely someone to get in. He's part of this, I don't want to call it a faction, but I'll just put it this way so I don't get into legal issues. If you look at who used to be SANS instructors that are no longer SANS instructors, it's a pretty good crew of people. Tim Medine, John Strand, Eric Capuano. There's a little bit of a group of people there that you can see that have changed what they're doing. So great list. I recommend, if you're watching this or if you're live with us right now, bookmark this timestamp and go back and just zip through and get these people. It's basically a kick-ass starter kit for people out there. Sorry, Kennedy. All right. DJ Bisek, many of you know he plays a cybersecurity pro on TV, but at his heart, he's a network architect. Andrew wants to know, how important is it to become a network or solutions architect when looking into security? Bisek?
You don't need to be an architect. You need to understand it. As an architect, you're building it all out. You're understanding how one site is going to connect to the other. What you need to understand network wise for security is how everything plays its role. That's all you need to understand. So, understanding subnetting. I think Theo said it. He tore down Wireshark. Be able to use Wireshark and actually look through Wireshark. Be able to look through logs, understand what logs mean. Usually, when you're on the security side, when you get into the network, that means you've already dug into a lot of stuff and you're trying to find out where things are going and how they're getting there. That's more the back end of the security stuff as opposed to finding it right up front.
I love it. I'll also point out, like, network architect, in my opinion, that's a really well-defined role. Solution architect, I don't know if you guys feel this way, and I'm not yelling at a cloud right now, but like the term solution architect's getting thrown around. Like, I know people who are looking at entry-level positions, and it's a solution architect is the role, and it's basically an inside sales technical role, where, like, I come into your client site and I'm going to help architect a solution from all the things that I'm selling at my vendor. But it's not truly an architect role. To me, the term architect has a very specific meaning. It means senior technical practitioner. Again, that might be yelling at a cloud. I don't know. Does anyone on the panel want to fight me about the term architect and it meaning, do you disagree that it means a senior technical practitioner?
I don't want to fight about architect. We can fight about something, though.
Yeah. We can throw it down.
Let's talk about third-party risk.
Oh my God, don't even.
Oh, here we go. Somebody call Neil.
I love it. All right, so let's see. For our red team people, right? Tyler and Theo. Tyler, what are your thoughts on red team projects on GitHub?
I don't really know what they mean by red team projects. I'm not sure if they mean like game of Active Directory, something like that, or documenting your own red team stuff. My thoughts are yes, regardless of which one it is. I think it's less important which project you do, more important that you document, platform, and share. Like a lot of us have this story, but I started YouTube and Twitch because I wanted to get into the industry, didn't see a pathway there, and just started sharing what I was learning. And that would be my recommendation. So once again, less important where your project is coming from, more important that you have a process of sharing what you are learning to help people join you in that learning process and just to build that real world networking.
There you go. Theo, you're a red team or offensive security pro. What are you thinking about red team projects on GitHub?
Yep, absolutely. I agree 100% with Tyler. Yeah, just share. Yeah, just do the project, share what you're working on, but start. Just like the first time that you put it out there, I'm sorry, unless you're like a phenom, unless you're like, so ridiculously gifted that your first one is perfect. I'm not in that subset. So just get it out there and then work on it and increment it and keep molding it and make it better. And guess what? If you really don't like it, tear it down and start over. That's just more practice. So agree. Yeah. Put your projects out there. Show what you're working on.
I love it. Hey, so I'm going to go around the horn on a question that I'm asking. So I recently made this course and it's going to be going out soon, but like the course, it's directly aligned to what we're talking about. It's not really a cybersecurity course. It's literally around how to, I call it personal branding, but it's like how to find content, how to produce it and make it available for public consumption. So people start to recognize you. Tyler just tapped on it. Theo's done it. Everybody on this panel, well, the exception of Joseph, and he's starting to do things on LinkedIn and stuff, and he's going to have a channel soon. I just want to go around the horn. It's easy to say, write a blog or start a channel. Like, can you just briefly talk about what the impact has had on creating a channel or producing content? And is it overwhelming? Was it super hard? And Tyler, I'll start with you because you literally just said, I wanted to work in industry, so I started a Twitch channel.
Yeah, so a lot of you probably know my story if you follow my other content, but I was in pastoral ministry for 10 years, which I was a church planner, which means started a church, which was a lot of media. So a lot of live streaming, audio, stuff like that. So once I got into IT, I wanted to become a pen tester, but I live in rural South Dakota and not by Black Hills InfoSec. I'm like 8 hours from them. So there's no opportunities here. So I thought, look, I can talk to a camera. I already had a microphone. I can just start a YouTube channel and Twitch, and I would just literally, what I still do now, but I would pull up a Try Hack Me room, share my learning live, and that's how I started my YouTube channel. But I also recognized a lot of people in IT are a little bit uncomfortable about being on camera. So if you can fight through that being uncomfortable, it kind of gives you a superpower. So just through YouTube alone and some of this content stuff, I'm here, right? If I didn't start that, I don't think I would have got connected here. I got connected to Jerry through my friend Justin J Gold, the J Gold mod, who for some reason he's never on stream, but we're gonna force him on here at some point in time.
No, he's going to the moon right now with the cryptos. So
in his CS skins,
Yeah.
but a lot of it is just those connections, right? I've met Jerry, I've met Heath Adams, I met Matt Kiley, all of those big names. I've been able to have real conversations with them, build some cool friendships, all just from setting up a webcam, hitting record and saying, "What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my live stream. My name is Tyler." So it's been incredible for my own career, for my own journey, and just to build genuine friendships outside of like stale networking.
Yeah. Jesse, thoughts about how, again, what we're talking about here is like going public or sharing your information with the others, right? Kind of putting yourself out there. Jesse, how's it impacted you professionally?
Man, it's impacted me big time on a number of levels, and I'll try and make it brief. Starting Slay Security Plus, I knew when I first said, cybersecurity is going to be, it's first of all, it's a calling, right? It needs to be a calling for you, and you have to be hungry enough to want to go out there and do the work in whatever red, blue, purple team that is. Secondly, when you make content, I knew that there had to be a different way in. And I said, I also had previous experience working in a church. And I knew that when you help others, we all win, right? So if we win, then we all win. And so my approach from the get-go was, how can I get out and make content that's really easily accessible for others like me who were maybe just coming up in the industry? And I found people just like Tyler, just like Jerry and Heath, almost all at the same time. And I said, I want to be like these guys because it works. And I don't care about the numbers. I don't care about the follows. I don't care about any of that bullcrap. What I care about is seeing people's lives changed within our industry. And a lot of people get hung up on the perfectionism of your content. If number one, make sure your audio is good. People will not pay attention if you have crappy audio. Number two, there's a saying that we like to say, it's Getmo, good enough to move on. You've got to be okay with things being good enough to get your point across, but get it out there. If you spend all the time in the woodshed just waiting for it to be perfect or not sure if it's ever going to be perfect, it probably won't. So you've got to get it out there, be proud of it, document your journey, and be a living resume. And I'm telling you what, I still have employers that didn't pick me up for the job, but they have employees that follow Slay Security Plus because they're trying to get their Sec Plus. And because I've built those relationships, now they've become actual friendships outside of the cyber community.
Theo, how's it impacted your life? You got the Twitch channel.
Yeah, it really has. When I first started the Twitch channel, it was to hold myself accountable for studying after after I got my master's, and then it grew into making myself marketable for the job market. And then from that, I met all kinds of great people that helped me professionally and personally. We were talking a little bit about burnout earlier on too. Like I struggle with that. I had someone, reach out to me from the channel and say, like, you got to take time, because I'm a grinder. You got to take time for breaks. And agree with that too. Like I try not to get hung up on it being perfect. Just start. You can't make your hundredth of something if you haven't made your first.
There you go. I appreciate it. So true. Echoing so many things. Joseph, you're starting on the LinkedIn. You're dabbling with the content creation. How's it? I mean, you're already employed, but thoughts on how it's impacted you or how you've seen it impact?
Yeah, so I may not like put out my own content too much, but I do help out a lot with other people's content. Like Simply Cyber, I help out with the Discord a lot, and SlaySec Plus, I'm on there helping out. And it is interesting where people add me on LinkedIn and they're like, "Oh, I know you from this." I'm like, "That's crazy." But and a thought that has been going around is that you can't just worry about it being perfect, and that's kind of where I'm at. I'm just like, okay, well, if it doesn't need to be perfect, screw it, let's do it. And I'm just gonna start making stuff, and I don't know if I'm gonna have a specific focus yet, because I'm such a generalist that like I kind of want to do a lot, but eventually I'll probably find something that I'm decent at and focus into that. And I just want to help people out, learn stuff. It's going to be rough. It's going to be rugged. You're going to be like, this guy has a job. And then hopefully, we grow from there. We grow together.
BSEC? Yeah, your content's a little different, but you are involved.
Well, I do both. I've done both. So two different sides, right? So doing the DJ stuff, it's more along the lines of keeping active with the community, making sure the community has feedback. Can they make my lights in the back go crazy? Are we having a good time? And then like when I do Advent of Cyber, it's not that. It's sitting down, sitting at the desk, going through everything. Like Jesse said, make sure you have good audio, that you're not going halfway through and then realizing like you're like Jerry, like it's not working.
Oh my God.
Or
What a brutal dig.
But you also need to find out, you have to find your niche, right? Are you good at doing it live? Yes or no? If you're not good at doing it live, then do it off screen and then put it out there. If you're not a live person, then just do it and upload it and put it on YouTube. Lots of people do that. Not everybody is a live person. And it does not have to be perfect. If you're trying to make everything perfect, then you're not showing your true self, because I can guarantee you everybody on here that's doing live content is not doing it perfect, and we have issues.
Thank you. Love it. 100%. I've shared my story multiple times, so I won't belabor everybody with that, but it's definitely impacted me professionally in a way that I could never have predicted. Just like Mara said, just hit record, just do it. It's gonna be rough at first. If someone gives you a hard time, they weren't a good fit to begin with. They were never going to be a good fit. You know what I mean? So don't sweat it.
Don't read into all the bad comments that come through. Throw those away. I mean, you can, if your channel starts to grow, you're going to get a lot of people that come in and are just like to you. That's all I can say. And you just have to not pay attention to that stuff. Let them be on their own. They don't have to come watch your channel. They're still watching it. So if I'm so bad, why are you watching me?
Yeah.
Go away.
Look up the speech, The Man in the Arena, right? I'm sure some of you are familiar with The Man in the Arena. Look up The Man in the Arena, because unless you're in the arena with me, making content, getting out there, helping others, I don't care what you have to say about the content that I'm putting out. Yes. Theo.
Oh, see, there we go. Theo's got the ink. Love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Also a Tom Brady documentary. Just saying. ESPN did it. You guys, if you're a Tom Brady fan. I love it. All right, let's keep going around the horn here. Jenna Powers had a great question. I feel like I'll take this one. Do GRC labs exist? They didn't, but they do now. I've got several labs in my GRC analyst masterclass, but Jenna, to not paywall it, I could tell you, you need to, this is a great opportunity to make content as well, resonating with what we just talked about and the power of making that content. You can make information security awareness training, and that would be like a lab, right? Like you're literally researching what's important, making content, communicating it out to an end user population in order to modify their behavior for the long term. The Simply Cyber newsletter, which is $0 and you can get it every Monday, simplycyber.io/newsletter. Literally, there's 3 actionable items in there. You could take one of those actionable items, turn it into a piece of GRC information security awareness training, post it on a faceless YouTube channel or post it on LinkedIn, hashtag Jenna Powers Cyber Tip of the Week, and boom, you're double dipping, because now you're doing a lab and you can demonstrate that you've done information security awareness, content creation and targeted learning and stuff. Plus you're actually building the name as the GRC person. If you're doing GRC labs, chances are you're wanting to be a GRC analyst and you're branding yourself as one on social media. It's a double dip. I would absolutely get on that all day, every day. Now, GRC is a pretty hot topic for most people. I know the panelists have decided to do more, boring stuff like pen testing, red teaming, kicking in doors. Does anyone else have thoughts on GRC labs before I move on? Yeah. Crickets.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sure.
the reason I think we're waiting for everybody to talk at the same time, but I always akin GRC and pen testing are cousins, right? Like, I love red teaming. I love pen testing. It's super, super awesome.
Distant
But
cousins.
I mean, GRC labs, you know what? Look up some CIS, look up some frameworks, and then do a assessment on your own home network. Everybody has friends. Hopefully you have at least a couple friends, and maybe you have somebody that owns a small business. Offer to do a risk assessment on a small business, a church, a nonprofit organization, and then make it public that you're doing this kind of work for people. And yeah, I mean, that is like real world GRC labbing right there.
Love it. Shout out to Chris.
It's true. It is. I made a joke, but it is true. I would say GRC and pen testing are quote unquote cousins, like Jess said. The reason is you usually have a pen test done, and that goes and leads into what's written for your GRC or your information security policy for your company. So everything congeals together if you don't realize that.
Yeah. Cybersecurity as a whole is kind of just a constant cycle of red team, GRC, blue team. Because what happens is red team comes in and ruins everybody's day, and then GRC comes in and bores everybody to death with the policies, and then blue team comes in and says, "Oh, we actually have to implement that." And then after they don't sleep for a year, red team comes in to show them that they actually implemented nothing.
or one of the 10 things that they did last time.
Yeah.
Compliance does not equal security.
Yeah, compliance doesn't equal security. I will say another, obviously at the family reunion cookouts, Tyler and Theo are over by the pool doing cool stuff, and I'm working the grill. But we are at the same family reunion. I will tell you another thing that you would never learn in a classroom. I always love when these opportunities come up. One thing you'll never learn in a classroom that is an absolute fact, like put it in pen, edge it in stone if you're like a Flintstones fan with the bird beak. Pen tests will come in, but before a pen tester ever finalizes their report, what they should be doing, and this would make you a killer interview on offensive security, what you should be doing is sending a draft review or have a draft meeting with the CISO, and your key findings, you should cover those exclusively and ask them if they resonate with the CISO, because a lot of times the pen test, if it's a checkbox, they're not going to want to meet with you. They're just going to say, give me the report so I can, But if they're truly trying to move something forward, they're going to want you to put in the executive summary as a key finding, whatever it is that the CISO has been trying for a year to get moved forward. And the board's just like, wah, 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 like the Charlie Brown teachers. And when it comes from a pen tester, when Tyler says it, oh, everybody listen up. Yeah. Tyler said it. And now you get funding, you get budget, you get all the things. So FYI, that's the reality.
1,000%.
If you ever want your company to do anything, hire a third party.
Yes.
Yes.
It's true. It's true. Because you can sit there.
True.
You know what? You can sit there until you're blue in the face until that red teamer comes in and says, oh, look, this is actually true. It happens. You don't get anything.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Young with a super chat. Thanks for sponsoring the channel.
Become best friends. Yep.
Getting involved in the cyber community as a volunteer helps to get comfortable speaking on camera. Yeah, Chris Young is a great example of building up. He's been doing the public speaking stuff. Now he's been asked to ISC2 Florida to give a talk. Who knows who's going to be in the audience at that event, but I'm sure it's going to lead to things. And I'm super pumped. We got just a couple more minutes here. I want to remind everybody at fact check me on this, Joseph, at 1 p.m. today. At 1 p.m. today on the Simply Cyber Discord server, we will be doing another cybersecurity AMA. So if you're enjoying this, it might be different panelists on the panel, but if you're enjoying this, but you would like to be a little bit more private, a little bit more intimate, a little bit more, you can, well, it won't be that sexy, but you can come to the Simply Cyber Discord server at simplycyber.io/Discord and join us. It'll be like we'll ping the entire server. It's one of the few times that I ping the entire server because I don't do that kind of stuff. But that'll be there. So please come check that out. Simplycyber.io/Discord to get to the Discord server and set your calendar. I'm looking for a question here. Tyler said there's a good question. Now I'm scrolling chat to look for it. I'll just throw it out there while I look for it.
And I will say real quick for people like Jesse who can't do time zone math, that is 1 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah.
Eastern time.
Yes.
That means like 11 o'clock your time.
Yes. Okay. Good point. I forgot about that. I forgot people exist out of the Eastern time zone.
The fake time zones.
I do find it like incredibly privileged that like I just in the Eastern time zone, I just like assume everybody lives in my time zone. I will say that when I'm on the West Coast, getting football games that start at, early is really nice. And like the Super Bowl starts at like 5 p.m. So you're like, this is cool. I can
Starts
actually
at 3 on the West Coast.
Yeah, like I can party and actually get a good night's sleep. Same in Vegas, right? Okay. So question here. I haven't even read this one yet, but Tyler, since he hacks me on the regular, I'm just going to assume this is good. When someone takes the time out to give you feedback and mentor you, what's a genuine way to show appreciation other than just saying thank you? There you go. This is an awesome question. We'll start with Tyler. I think we'll start with Tyler. Tyler, you mentor people ad nauseum. What? How do you respond to this? Whoops. Let me put Tyler up. Yeah.
Yeah. So excellent question. What I do in the Hack Smarter community is we do career coaching. A bunch of us who are pros in the industry coach people. The difference is we don't charge you silly fees for the coaching fee. It's just a way of giving back to the community. And the genuine way to show appreciation, one is just a shout out, right? Like letting them know on LinkedIn, hey, this person met with me and offered me this great advice. So just that public shout out, I think, is really helpful. But second is just like, take the advice, like actually do what they say. What's probably most frustrating to me when I do mentoring and coaching with people is we'll sit down, I'll give them like 3 specific steps that would really help them in where they're at. And then I meet with them a month later and they literally haven't done anything. And they ask me the same question again, like freaking do what I told you. If you just do what I told you, that's enough appreciation. But if you don't do what I told you and then complain to me in a month, 2 months, 3 months that you're in the same position and you haven't taken the next step, like, yo, get over yourself and do it. Otherwise, don't send me messages. There's my rant. But that's the best way to show appreciation. Do it and say thank you publicly.
I don't think there's any better way to say that. That's exactly it.
Joseph's going to take a whack at it.
Yeah, I'm going to ride the tail end of his answer here by actually applying what they tell you to do and showing that you applied it. You have some sort of evidence that like, hey, I know you spent the time on me and I am a mentee. I do have a couple mentors that are not officially mentors, but they're mentors. They don't have to know. Anyways, so I take what they give me as advice and I apply it and I show them how it has helped me grow. And I feel like that is a mutual thing where they have put in the time to me. Now I'm putting in the time for them to show them that they're not just wasting their breath.
100%. Theo?
I'm just going to parrot that as well. If you have someone, and I've had a lot of people help me, and I try to make myself accessible as well for anyone that I can help. But the people that have helped me, I've taken notes. I mean, I just sit there and take notes, listen. I do the advice, that they're giving me. When I'm done meeting with them or chatting with them, I even repeat it back to them. Hey, I'm going to be working on this or that. And then maybe ask to even check in, in the future, 6 months, 3 months or whatever, to talk about what you accomplished.
All right. So we're going to be wrapping here. Theo, final thoughts, shout outs. First of all, it's been great having you. Thank you for accepting the invitation and genuinely love it. Let's round it out, bud.
I appreciate the invite. This was great. This was a great experience. I was chit-chatting with K Bandwidth a little bit before this. I was a little bit nervous because when I'm doing my thing in front of my Twitch channel, it's me and chat's making fun of me, or we're working on this, or I'm working on that. And I thrive in that area of like uncertainty, or what am I doing, or what I'm trying to figure out. But this was a great experience. I was nervous, but now that I'm in it and just chit chatting, it's great. Thank you for having me. It was wonderful to meet all you all and talk like this.
Yeah, well, certainly added value to the community and answered some great questions. Go check him out on Twitch, everybody. We'll drop another link in there. He's putting out great content and just a good person. Joseph, final thoughts, round?
Yeah, I think Theo, it was amazing having you. The community wants more of you. I'm seeing that in chat, And you talked about being nervous and coming on stream because your chat's usually roasting you. If you ever get a chance to peek in a mod chat, you'll see it is equal parts helping Jerry and roasting Jerry.
Oh yeah,
not equal. It's not equal.
No, it's not equal.
Nice.
But yeah, thank you for coming, and thank y'all for having me. I'll be there for the 1 p.m. talk on Discord. Just excited to
BSEC,
hang
final
out.
thoughts around the horn?
I am just glad I got to make it this morning.
Yeah, it's good to see you.
Gave me a little reprieve from everything that's going on. Let me breathe for a minute.
Well, we're happy that with the time that you do have, you chose to spend it with us and help the community, and it's great to see you. Jesse?
Hey, I just want to give a quick shout out to all of those that are watching the stream that are still trying to land those first jobs. Don't give up. Stay hungry. Take the stuff that we're talking about here in this live stream, put it to practice, document your journey, be a living resume, help others along the way, and you will be surprised how much farther it propels you on your own trajectory. Theo, it was awesome having you on. I'm a huge fan, a new huge fan, and I love the idea of reinventing yourself until you find what works. That's super inspiring to me, and I know it's inspiring to others.
Tyler?
Yeah, so hey, just want to say another thank you to Theo and the entire panel. Every time I'm on these, I learn stuff myself, even though I'm one of the people on the panel. So thank you, everyone. If you do enjoy my content, hacksmarter.org would be the place to find my YouTube channel, my Twitch, and our Discord if you want to jump in there. And also, I'm hoping to join the Discord later. I have a meeting overlap, so I might be a little bit late. But just a big thank you. Learned a lot myself. Thank you to everybody in chat. Thank you, Jerry, and the entire panel. A lot of fun, as usual.
My pleasure. My pleasure. All right, guys, that's going to do it. Hey, quick shout out. If you are a squad member, drop a mod love emote. The mods have been working blisteringly quick on the back end. Kimberly, Jenny, Jay Gold, with links and fielding providing questions. So I know you guys don't see the mods on the back end and all the hard work they're doing, but this stream is significantly better because of the work that they put in. Thank you and shout out love to them. Thank you to all the panelists. You guys are amazing. It's just so awesome to have a community that can come together kind of dynamically and help everybody in chat. If you got inspired today, take action on it, right? It's one thing to get the knowledge. It's another to execute on it. You make a plan, 1% better, just start, all the things. All right, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Thanks. Shout out to Deb Wigley for being in chat. I saw Tech Ricky in chat. Tech Ricky, DM me because you did win that offensive for defensive yesterday, the Antisyphon prize, and I want to get that to you ASAP. Guys, I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. Until next time, stay secure. Content. Keep the cybersecurity train going by connecting with the other Simply Cyber community resources. We have the Discord server that's lively and always keeps the conversation going. You can connect with me directly on LinkedIn. And also every single weekday morning on the Simply Cyber channel, we're doing live daily cyber threat briefings, 8 a.m. Eastern time, as well as Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We're doing live stream interviews with industry experts, and we produce videos that we push out every Wednesday morning. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. I hope